What's good, everyone? It's your boy Rican in the Philippines because I am a Puerto Rican living in the Philippines. If you're new to my channel, thank you and welcome to visiting my page. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so we can push more videos out there on YouTube and we can put this information out there for the masses. So let's get into it. So I noticed a lot of differences between the United States and the Philippines as far as the economy, the culture, the people, the dynamic, and things like that. I just wanted to share some of that on here so you guys could get a better outlook on what life is like in the Philippines, what are the differences, what makes it unique, and things like that. And there's a lot that I've noticed since I've been living here. And one of the things that's different is the currency. The currency here is much cheaper as compared to the United States. One US dollars in the United States is equal to 55 Philippine pesos here. So the currency is pretty much the value and the power of the dollar goes a long way here in the Philippines. For example, you go to any fast food restaurant, let's say McDonald's, for example. A number one, a Big Mac meal back in the States right now with the way inflation and the cost of living is going on over there, you'll wind up paying about $12-13 for a Big Mac, whereas as opposed to over here in the Philippines, you'll be spending around $3 to $4 for the same meal. And that's just with not any other fast foods. That's with diners. That's with retails, different companies, a lot of merchandise stores, a lot of department stores. Everything is cheaper here, so the dollar does go a long way over here. That's one thing. The second thing that I've noticed here is as far as the convenience and the practicality of it. It still needs a lot of work to be done. Of course, it's still a third world country, even though it's a developing nation. It's a developing country. The internet here is another different factor. The internet here compared to the United States is totally different. What they have here in the Philippines is something that you call low. So the internet is pretty much paid per usage, is paid per day. And they have different programs that you could use, that you could utilize. It just depends if you what type of data do you want, and how fast is the modem. What else? Local and international calls if you want to use it for local calls. So the internet here is different. They still need a lot to catch up on, but it's nowhere near the internet broadband speed and the practicality of it, because of the way the infrastructure is over here. The power grid and the internet is not up to par compared to other countries that I visited, particularly in the United States. You know, I could say one thing about the United States: the internet speed and the services. It is like none other. It blows every other competition out of the market. So that's just one downfall about being here, is the internet speed. It's touch and go depending on what part of the Philippines you go to. And sometimes it doesn't even work half of the time. And here in the Philippines, there is a lot of brownouts. So, you're not constantly getting a flow of electricity. It's good, but you have your times where it periodically goes out. So brownouts are very common here in the Philippines, and that also affects the computer system. It also affects the internet and things like that. That happened to me twice that I've been here since October. So that's another thing. Another difference that I noticed about here in the Philippines is that there's an abundance of security guards just working in every business's establishment. I've seen this. I not only seen it here, but I seen it in my trips to Jamaica. It was like that as well. There's security all over the place. You got to get check-in just to go into the malls, compared to the United States. Where every business establishment you could just walk in. You could walk into Target, the Walmart, fast food restaurants. As you see fit. You could just walk in, whatever. Over here, you need to be checked by security guards just to walk into the mall. You know, you had to have security guards and they have the metal detectors and they pat you down. They just do a quick run through. They don't harass you or anything like that. But I know that crime and poverty here is very imminent. It's very bad, and I understand that. There's parts of the Philippines that crime and poverty is running rampant. I'm here in Davao City, so I don't see it as much. There's not a lot of crime. I mean, Davao City is like one of the safest cities in the Philippines. Not the safest city, but it's one of the safest cities in the Philippines. I know other people here that live here, they could disagree, they could attest to which city is the safest, but I have no bad experiences living in Davao. Security guards in the fast food restaurants, security guards in the restaurants, businesses, banks I can understand, and they're not just regular security guards, they're armed security guards. They're carrying M16, AR weapons, stuff like that. So they're strapped to the T and they're ready to do their job and defend it if needed to. So but that's just too many of them. I don't think that is necessary because nothing never pops off here. Nobody's acting a fool. Everybody conducts themselves well. They mind their business, but I guess because of that safety and security, people could pretty much, they're on their P's and Q's, but they could also relax. So that's one thing that I do notice about that as well. In the Philippines. Another thing I noticed about living in the Philippines that's different from the United States is the social dynamic and the way people conduct themselves. I said it in my last video, it's like taking a trip back in time during the 70s and 80s America and seeing the way the social dynamic was back then. It's pretty much still holds weight here in the Philippines, which I like a lot. I went in a little bit into it, in my last video, how the people are and things like that. But what I say the social structure is structure. I'm talking about like the employees, students, how over here like schools and universities. They have a dress code. Even in work, they have a dress code. So you see people in elementary school, high school, colleges, and universities. They all wear a uniform. They all have to wear a certain uniform depending on what school they go to. And I seen that, and I'm over here thinking, oh, that's the same structure that they have out in the Catholic schools. So think of Catholic schools, how they have to wear uniforms. Everybody here wears a uniform. What trips me out is like the convenience store, the drugstores, and even the supermarkets, the employees, they all wear uniforms. Most of the uniforms that I see, for example, there's a drugstore here called Watson's, which is equivalent to like a CVS or a Rite Aid back in the States. And you know how you see the employees, they're just dressed casually or whatever. Over here, they actually wear dresses like business suits. The guys, they wear a three-piece suits, and the women, they wear a nice elegant dress, with a blazer. Just very, it looks very professional, and they're just selling you products, beauty products and toiletries and what have you. What I'm gonna do, in a future video, I'm gonna take a video of one of them so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a trip. So everybody, they take pride in their work, even though the cost, the salary, the work wages here are extremely low, which is why there's a lot of people that lives here. They work overseas because they get better pays and they bring that money back to help feed, provide for their families and what have you. But the Philippine people here, they take pride in their work, and that's really a breath of fresh air to see. It's interesting. Another thing I noticed living here in the Philippines is the infrastructure and development of houses, the streets, the roads, and things like that. That still needs a lot of work it still needs a lot of work, but it's getting up there as far as being practical, being utilized and being useful. But the only thing that they still have an issue with is the sidewalks. The sidewalks are so narrow, you pretty much can't walk down the sidewalk. You still have that practicality to walk, but You know, you're not, it's not going to be comfortable, and then you always got to watch out for the upcoming traffic, because there is a lot of traffic here in the Philippines, especially in the big cities. So you always got to be watching your back and watch out for the motorbikes and the tricycles that's passing by you. So you're not only sharing the sidewalk, which is so narrow that only one person could walk on it, but you also got to watch out for the traffic in the streets. And the traffic here, like what I notice here, the traffic is horrendous, especially during rush hour. I mean, I do not like to travel anywhere between certain hours, especially during rush hour, because it is bumper to bumper traffic, and it's a standstill for minutes, sometimes for about a good hour. And I'm like, oh no, I don't have the time and patience for that. So the traffic here has a lot of work to be done. And I noticed that there's not a lot of freeways or interstates. I mean, I don't know if the country is designed to withstand that infrastructure, but I never seen a freeway and an interstate to pretty much cut down the congestion of the traffic. That would make it so much easier. We got like one big main road that goes from one side of the island, depending on what part of the Philippines you are. I'm in Mindanao, of course. There's a lot of main roads, but there's no freeways and interstates to travel. When I go visit my family, my wife's family in the province, which is like 4.5 hours away, I rent a car, and you know, I just pass by the main road and I pass by cities or province. So it's not set up like it would be in the United States. So the infrastructure is noticeably different, but it's come a long way, but it still needs a lot of work to do. Another difference that I noticed around here is the convenience and the practicality of goods and services here. What I mean by that is, for example, in the United States, we have Amazon, we have DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, things like that. Here in the Philippines is not up to that par per se. It's not up to that standard yet. They do have their own delivery services, which is equivalent to Uber and Lyft. There's a lot of taxi cabs and a lot of trikes out here. So the convenience of using public transportation is, you're never gonna go without. You just gotta be patient with it, because the taxis here, it still operates the way that it used to back in the United States, back in the 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s. So they still use the taxi systems out here. And if you're in the province part of the Philippines, they don't have taxis, but they do have tricycles with the little built-in carriages next to them. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty fun thing to ride. For me, because I am a big person, I'm 6 foot, so I kind of have a little problem. Like, I go in there and I'm more snugged in. My wife, she's just 5'2", so she fits in there perfectly. But for a tall guy, 6 feet and taller, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time riding around those trikes. But they're fun to ride. It's much cheaper to ride the taxis here. It's much the prices of the taxi here compared to the taxi cabs in the United States or even Uber is still cheaper than if you would use the taxi cabs in Uber services. You'll be paying a lot less. I use taxi cabs here all the time. I'm not planning to buy a car here because I am going to be relocating within the next year or so, possibly Singapore, but that's going to be another video that I'm going to put out. Depending on where you want to go, and depending where you want to go in the Philippines, depending if you're in a big city, it doesn't cost that much to travel around. I mean, I'd be paying no more like $1 or $2, depending on the mileage, because they still go by the old system, the way that it was in the United States. So it still goes by the old system over here. But it's very convenient, and I pay no more than $3, and that would take me from it'll take me for anywhere from like 3 to 5 miles. So it's pretty good. I like the convenience of that. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I hope it was informing and you was able to get a little glimpse of what life is like here in the Philippines. Those are the differences that I've noticed. There's probably more that I can't think of the top of my head, but if I do it, I'll post it out for future videos. So if you like this, if you like my content and you like this channel, you like this dynamic, please you give me a like and make sure to subscribe. Leave your comment down below, and I will hope to see you soon on my next video. So take care wherever you at around the world, and God bless. Love you guys.